Yes. Fabulous. He has done it. It might have taken a stroke or two extra, but the feeling is just as sweet. The 22 Masters champion, Scottie Scheffler.
It was a 4-putt finish for Scheffler, but the native Texan had built enough wiggle room and then some. Finishes the tournament at 10 under, 3 shots clear of Rory McIlroy, who shot an 8 under 64 on Sunday, tying the lowest final round score in Masters history. But he takes a backseat to the story of Scottie Scheffler, winning his 4th tournament in his last 6 starts, and now a major champion. For more, we head out to Augusta National, where CBS Sports senior golf writer Kyle Porter is standing by. KP, another one into the annals of history. The 25-year-old Texan Scottie Scheffler becomes the 55th man to slip on a green jacket. Sunday gave us a little bit of everything. Overnight driver yips, a Masters moment, shifting the momentum there at 3, and in the end, that syrupy stride walking right into Butler cabin. Kyle Porter, the headline is what?
Well, I thought it was a clinic from Scottie Scheffler. I think that's the headline. You know, it wobbled early. It got a little dicey early, but he righted the ship, and I thought he was so good coming home until the last hole on the green there, Joe. I think that proved to us, you know, the question we always ask, you know, could I play in from here and win the Masters for Scottie Scheffler? The definitive answer is no. Nobody could do that because we saw the nerves of even the number 1 player in the world on that last hole when he 4-putted. So I just thought he was so calm throughout. You know, I followed him most of the second 9, and it just, you know, it was kind of a weird Masters in that there wasn't that kind of Saturday moving day that we normally get. And so it was a little subdued, I think, on the weekend. But Scheffler kind of acted like it was Thursday morning, Friday afternoon, which is what you want. You don't want the last guy on the course freaking out over every shot. He showed a lot of poise. He never got in a hurry. He never seemed rattled. He did right the ship early on with that chip-in birdie at the 3rd hole, but after that, it was pretty clinical through until that putt on 18.
Yeah, a subdued finish for the subdued winner, but a green jacket no less. Now 4 of his last 6, KP, punctuated by his first major title here. If there was a stage that could have cooled this heater, this was it. But the new world number 1 minting that ranking with this win, a statement in the face of any inklings of doubt, really. The word effortless does come to mind in a way that Scheffler strung these together. In your mind, what's made him so dominant over these last 2 months or so?
Well, he's just got every facet of the game working. He's obviously always been good from tee to green. That's why we were hyping him up coming into 2022. And talking about him a lot, right? We said, hey, Scottie Scheffler is awesome from tee to green. He needs to win a little bit. And now all of a sudden he's won 4 times in 4 months. But I was really impressed with his short game this week at Augusta National, Joe. You know, and he showed it over the first few holes there. He gets up and down on 1 for par. Again, he makes that shot on number 3 for birdie. So he's added, I don't know if he's added, but he's really rounded out his game really well, because the tee to green, that's sticky. It's always going to be there. The best guys from tee to green are almost always going to remain the best guys from tee to green. Rory, Colin Morikawa, Dustin Johnson, Scheffler's in that group. But to win at Augusta National, you got to have a pretty great short game, and he displayed that at a level that I don't know if he's ever displayed it before this week at the Masters.
We said it earlier in the week. Maybe we should have known 4-3 over Jon Rahm at the Ryder Cup not too long ago, and that perhaps was the spark that has lit this powder keg 4 of his last 6. Coming into the day, Cam Smith posed the biggest threat, and through those first 2 holes, that looked like a real threat. But like so many before him, it comes undone at number 12. Kyle, he's one of those guys that you could imagine finishing his career with multiple majors, but these moments, they're not to be taken for granted. How do you see Smith moving forward from this disappointment?
Well, I think he'll be fine. You know, he's somebody that doesn't, kind of like Scheffler, that doesn't get real high or real low. We saw him go right of the pin at the Players' Championship on number 17 in the final round. and everybody's freaking out, and he looks like he just, hit a shot on a Tuesday afternoon practice round. So he's not somebody that I think gets emotionally caught up in everything, which benefits you at major championships. We've seen guys get too emotionally involved, and it's just difficult to handle. He's played great at Augusta National. I think that's my big takeaway, Joe, is, we saw the T2 from him back in 2020 when this is a softer course, kind of a different Masters. But for him to go out when guys, I don't know what the scoring average for the week ended at. I have to think 4, 5, 6 over, something like that. And to do it in those conditions, that's pretty impressive as well. So I'm excited about what the future holds for Cam Smith. But you do have to wonder. I mean, I think the guy that we always go back to with streaks like Cam has been on, like Scheffler's been on, is Jason Day back in 2015, 2016 when he wins so many events in a row. You got to take advantage of some of those for the old Wikipedia page and for your resume going forward, because you don't know how long you're going to remain that hot.
Yeah, nobody made more birdies this week than Cam Smith. He just gave a few too many back, and as you outline it, this is the most dominant stretch since those wins by Jason Day, this current streak by Scottie Scheffler. We do have to do it. With pressure as an afterthought heading into Sunday, Rory McIlroy rips off the governor, pedal to the floor, a record-tying final round 64, 6 birdies and an eagle, hair-raising moment at 18. As our resident Rory historian, KP, is this more wow or what if from where you're standing?
Well, I think it's both, honestly. I kind of feel bad for him. I think he beat the rest of the field by 2 and then just gets dusted by Scottie. It's unfortunate for him that, this is a little bit what we saw with Jordan Spieth back in 2018. That's kind of who I was thinking about all day, where Spieth makes this unbelievable run. He ended up shooting 64, could have shot 63, 62. Patrick Reed goes on to win that Masters. There wasn't enough. He had dug too big of a hole. Yeah. Unless the guys ahead of you are going to collapse, like what happened with Charles Schwartzel to Rory, or like what happened to Rory back in 2011 when Charles Schwartzel went on to win, then it's almost impossible to play well enough to catch up. So I think it's wow, because 64 on Sunday at Augusta is always wow. I was with his group for a little while. I actually left before the shot on 18. I just saw it like 2 minutes ago for the first time. It was unbelievable. But it's also what if, because it's what if on Thursday when you hit 12 of 14 fairways and then you can't put a score together. You shoot 73, win 70, 71, get you really in the mix all of a sudden on Sunday.
Well, let's also close the book on what was adversity overcome for Tiger Woods. Numbers really did not matter this week. It was a binary mission, 0 or 1, yes or no. The answer was a resounding yes from Woods. Kyle, put this week into words for Tiger. What did these scenes mean to you and greater to this tournament?
Well, I wrote about this for CBSSports.com, Joe, and I think in the era of kind of the TrackMan era where everybody's trying to dial their swing in and look pretty on YouTube and all these different things, I thought Tiger's insatiable desire to compete really kind of rose to the forefront. And that's always been true of him. That's why he's won 82 times and 15 major championships. But I think sometimes we didn't always clearly pay attention to that insatiable desire to compete, because the game was so good. We were admiring him off the tee. We were admiring the irons. He made every putt, all those different things. And so when the gifts have diminished and when the body is beaten and broken down, that desire to compete, I think, really becomes clearer. And that really stood out to me. He had so many chances to pull the ripcord, to kind of just mail it in, and he wouldn't do it. I watched him on 18 today, Joe. He reads this putt for 13 over like 6 different ways. He takes 3 minutes over it. He's just grinding until the very end. And I thought that was super impressive from him throughout the week.
It is always excited when the big cat is out on the prowl, no matter the score. And to see him walking up the hill at 18, it was a sight that we will not soon forget. Tiger did say post-round that he plans to play at the Open Championship, St. Andrews, in July, but unsure about anything in the interim between now and then. What does this summer look like for Tiger in your eyes, KP?
I think he skips the PGA and the U.S. Open. I think he just goes to St. Andrews, to the old course. And here's the thing, Joe. I think I was really actually impressed with kind of how he played from tee to green this week. He can't really read putts, and he got himself into some bad spots on these greens on the weekend. But he hit the ball a lot better than I thought. I don't know how it's going to go at St. Andrews. I don't know what kind of draw he's going to get at the Open Championship. I kind of think he can contend, and maybe that's just the nostalgia speaking. Maybe that's just the hope of Tiger contending for, this might be his last major that he ever plays at St. Andrews. He's obviously won a couple times there. So I'm really excited about what could happen at the Open Championships. And honestly, we were talking about this earlier. I hope he takes the PGA and U.S. Open off just to get the body back and make one last run at St. Andrews.
Well, if old Tom Morris has anything to say of it, that man right there will be in the mix come Sunday at St. Andrews. What a scene it would be. But it is always worth teeing up the literary mind once more. KP, little time to digest, but when you think back at the 2022 Masters, what's going to be the lasting image in your mind?
Well, I think it's just Scheffler just ambling down these fairways. We've seen Masters won in different ways. It kind of reminded me of Dustin Johnson back in 2020. Again, a very different Masters. It was soft then. DJ got to 20 under. But there was just no real breakdown for DJ that year or for Scheffler this year. There was some adversity that Scheffler had to overcome early on. But I was just so impressed by how we've seen guys get in a hurry on Sunday. We've seen guys get, things are moving quickly and they speed up and it just becomes a little bit of a mess. Even on 17, he kind of hits a bad tee shot, gets it back in the fairway, puts it to 2 feet, makes a 4, and then closes it out. So I couldn't be more impressed with his demeanor, his aura. This is only like his 8th or 9th major championship to play in, and he shut it down like he's been playing in them for the last 20 years.
It was something special to watch. Kyle Porter taking us inside the ropes like only he can. Thank you, my friend.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.